Hey guys, hopefully this rain's gonna hold out. It just started to sprinkle and stop. I want to do a quick video because I'm gonna take this to the dealer tomorrow and drop it off for service. This is about 2.5 years old. It's a Toro recycler, 22-inch self-propelled. It's got the personal pace. It's been a good mower. I bought this for primarily to cut the front yard, but also for the backyard when it gets wet. It gets really rainy here in the spring in Michigan, and sometimes I can't get the zero turn in the backyard. So this has cut the backyard about 3, 4, 5 times, but I do exercise it weekly on the front grass. And again, I bought it at Home Depot, and it is a Briggs and Stratton engine. And I do have a video. I was cutting, I was making some B-rolls, cutting the front grass, and it started to sputter when I would do one of these numbers on it. And then it would be fine again once I let it down. And I thought it was just, maybe it's just low on fuel. Checked the fuel, it was kind of low. I added fuel, and that worked for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and then it completely died. And it won't even start anymore. It's like it's not getting fuel. I don't know if there's something blocked, and I do use ethanol-free gas. And this mower is only like 2.5 years old. It came with a 3-year guaranteed to start warranty, and that's what I'm going to try to get it serviced under, and a 2-year all-inclusive warranty. I was really on the fence between this and the Honda because the self-propelled were right there at the same price. I'm kind of regretting it, but I have a good history with Toro. I have a snowblower, which is just phenomenal, and that was the reason this one kind of hedged out. So I'll have to update you guys and see where we go from here. Repair, authorized repair center, Weingarts. Now this is a pretty big place by me. They have multiple locations. Dropped it off, explaining that this was still covered under the 3-year guaranteed to start, and they agreed. I gave them my serial number and all that information, and they agreed. They printed everything off, and I told them, call me if there's any problem with warranty service. I know my way a little bit around small engines. I'm not paying you guys a couple $100 to fix a $300 lawnmower. They were cool. They agreed that if there's any problem, they would call me. Friday, yesterday, I get a call from them. They said, yep, it's not covered under the guarantee to start. This lawnmower hasn't been maintained. Look at this thing, guys. For one, it's 2.5 years old. They're just over 2. I think it's two years and 1 month. Had all the documentation, had all the receipts. Every fall, which is only 2, I change the oil, check the air filter, and so on. Everything that the lawnmower has in the service manual as far as maintenance goes. I said, are you kidding me? I said, what am I supposed to change that I haven't? And they said that the fuel filter hasn't been changed and the air filter was horribly dirty. Well, I checked the air filter, and I'm gonna pull it out and show you guys. I haven't seen it this year. Per Toro, this thing's supposed to be changed or checked every year or every 25 hours. And I barely use this mower. I do exercise it regularly. I have a small small front lawn, but a huge back lawn. So I use this mower every week or twice a week to cut the front grass, but it only takes me a few minutes. So it's not used, it's not abused. I change the oil, and I shouldn't even have to, for the little that I use, that is. But anyways, they told me that this thing hasn't been maintained, and look, it looks like brand new. And I said, well, that's BS. The lady on the phone, and she was just working the desk, said, oh, I said, well, what hasn't been serviced? And she said, the oil filter. I said, there is no oil filter. Oh, I meant fuel filter. I said, per Toro service manual, I'm not supposed to change the fuel filter every year. So tell me another line. And she's like, well, she got nervous. She's like, this is what the mechanic's saying. He's saying that it's fuel related, and fuel related issues are not covered under the guarantee to start warranty. So that's bullshit. But because I am meticulous about the fuel, I change it regularly. As far as in the gas cans, I cycle it through my cars just to make sure it's fresh. I use fuel stabilizer. And this year I started using non-ethanol fuel. I go pay a premium. There's a place in a city by me. I told her what city it was. And I said, I am the perfect customer. So if Toro's saying that there's fuel problems, it's not from any kind of abuse on my end. They're not building the carburetors to withstand any kind of tolerance. I'm using the same fuel in weed whackers, which has a much small orifice in the carburetor and the fuel lines than this mower. And I've been using that same fuel in the same way for years. My weed whacker, I think, is 4 or 5 years old now, and I use it way more hours and times than this mower. So let's go ahead and crack this open. Now, I did call Toro, complain to the customer service guy. He was supposed to call me back yesterday. He never called me back. I gave him the same spiel that I'm telling you guys now. This is BS. I've been a fan of Toro, but no more. You guys, earlier in this video, I said how I like Toro. Now, if they're not going to cover it guaranteed to start because of fuel issues, I mean, what else would be the reason that it's not guaranteed to start? Yes, obviously there could be more, but if this thing hasn't been abused, I use fresh fuel. That's just crazy that they would not cover it. So it's not worth the label that they stuck on here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up to see what the issue is. I think it's a stuck bowl. I don't think the carburetor is getting fuel. So I'm going to check the air cleaner, because he said the air cleaner was just plugged and it's horrible. But then he tells me, oh, we could try changing the air cleaner to see if it'll start. I'm like, no, I'm going to come and get it. And again, this is a big place. This isn't a mom and pop shop. This is a huge facility with multiple locations. And so I figured we'll do it together. We'll see if we can figure it out. And I'm done. You guys can get all these free mowers from Toro and say how great it is on YouTube. And I'm buying a Honda if I ever have to replace this, because I won't need their customer service. It'll just run forever. So here we go, guys. Air cleaner time. Oh, I guess he does have a valid point, right? The air cleaner does have some debris. I don't know if you can see that, but this is not causing it not to start. I must have went through a patch of grass or something that I will have to change this air cleaner, but that is not the reason this thing did not start. It's not getting gas. So he popped this off, and I don't think he did anything else to this mower. I think he popped this off and said, oh, yeah, this hasn't been maintained. He said he looked at the carburetor. I don't think he took the cover off. So let's go ahead and see, guys. All right, I popped the cover off, and this thing does not look like anybody has gone into it and checked the carburetor even. So I'm gonna see how to take this air box off, and it also doesn't appear to have a fuel filter either. So let's try to dive into it a little deeper here. So it looks like this carburetor is plastic. Kind of odd. Man, you move this fuel line and the carburetor wants to literally pop off of here. Oh, maybe because it will pop out of there. You don't even have to pull those bolts off, I don't think. Well, that's odd design. The carburetor's just kind of floating in there. That's weird. And then hook this, the gas is gonna flow out of here. Let me get something to catch it. I drain the gas and see if I can get this carburetor off now. Go. I'm going to take the these 2 bolts off here. Oh, there's still some coming out. That carburetor's got gas in it. Huh. Too much gas, maybe. Maybe the bowl's not telling it to shut off. That could be a thing, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if this stuff is plastic, is carb cleaner safe, but it doesn't look gummed up to me. So I'm gonna open the bottom here and see what it looks like. I did not even look at this carburetor. That won't come apart. That's plastic. I never, there it goes. Let's look. Huh. I don't know why they would say that was a fuel related issue. The carburetor looks fine. It's not all gummed up. Not sure, but this carburetor is a little different than I'm used to, that's for sure. It's not gummed up. Let me take some carb cleaner and get some of the crud off the outside, but I don't see it being an issue unless this float looks like it's working properly. I don't even see it coming apart. Like where you can clean the jets. This looks like a disposable unit, unless I am missing something. There's no places where you can kind of take this apart. I might just put it back together and see if it'll run. Let me go get some carb cleaner. Assemble this back together. And let's see if it starts. All right. This gasoline. Up and around. This has to go up and around. I'm just putting everything back the way it was, and I'm gonna see if this thing will start. I don't see why it won't. Hook up the fuel. Weird how this thing just floats in there. It's kind of crazy. So what I'll do is if this thing doesn't start, well, either way, I'm gonna complain like hell to both Winegard's and Toro, because if that's their policy, that's just BS. This thing was not gummed up. There's definitely, if it doesn't run, there's definitely something else going on here. I don't know where they came up with that. I think the guy was just lazy. He didn't tear this thing apart at all. So I got it hooked up. I'm gonna put some gas in here, and see if it will run. So I'm gonna put the air cleaner back on. Where's that at? There's the air box. Goes on like this. Attaches to that hose. And these ones go in the long side. Probably tighten it up. I'll get these lined up. I like self-tapping because it's just plastic. Don't want to overdo these. As I do it. That's good. What a piece of junk carburetor. Totally just disposable. There's no buying a rebuild kit for this. All right. Have to read this as the guy did have a point. I don't think he went any further than this. I'm gonna hose this off real quick. That looks much better. Probably will replace it at the end of this year. I'm actually surprised it got that much dust. Probably from all the pollen. So. Okay, we're back together. Let me go get some of that horrible gas that the guy talks about. This is ethanol-free gas. I'm not gonna fill it up in case it ain't right. I don't want it to be full. So it might need a new carburetor. You can't rebuild this piece of junk. Let's see. No, I didn't think. Unless it's a switch, but I don't know. What do you know, guys? It started right up. Gummed up carburetor. Bullshit. I think it was just something to do with that float valve. Either it wasn't shutting the gas off, because it did have gas in it. I don't know. There was no jets plugged. Hell, I couldn't even find a jet to clear. So that's it. I can cut my grass today. I'm gonna call them, give them an earful, as well as follow up when I get back from vacation, and give Toro an earful, because I'm done with that. If they can't take care of me as a customer, a good customer that takes care of my stuff, then I'll move on to a different line of products. So, all right, guys, I've burned through that half a tank. It seems to be going good. I got about, I don't know, a little more than half of my half-acre backyard cut, and it's running like a champ. I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up. I don't cut this usually with my push mower, or even though it's self-propelled, still call it a push mower. I can't mulch with that zero turn, but this is just, there's like no grass clippings. The zero turn I usually side discharge. I've tried to mulch. I've bought the mulch attachment, but it just clumps up and rusts the deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this thing up again. This time I'm gonna fill it to the top and finish cutting my grass. I think it's fixed though. So guys, I just got a call from Weingart's. The manager, Tim, called me. He explained, at first I told him the story of what I was told, which was bullshit, and he agreed. He's like, I don't know why they would have told you. He's looking at the invoice, and it does not state anywhere on there that it had a gummed up carburetor. He then told me that they're guaranteed to start, Toro guaranteed to start 3-year warranty, only covers a couple things. It covers like the auto choke and something else, he said. Beyond that, they will not pay. So he said what he believes the technician did is look at the fuel filter, or I'm sorry, the air filter, and then basically check the choke and a couple high-level things that is covered under the 3-year warranty, and then called me. And I said, well, if that's the case, I don't know why they talked about this fuel filter that doesn't exist, these other things as far as me abusing this machine, which looks like brand new. And he was a really nice guy, and he basically said, yeah, sorry about that, and hopefully we can get your business back again. He doesn't know why anybody would have told me those things, but at the same time, those carburetors, as I stated earlier, are basically garbage. If there's any problems, there's no jets to clean. It's a replacement part. There is no rebuild. It's a replacement part. But it is working now, and I am going to call Toro when I get back from vacation and give them an earful. If nothing else, it'll make me feel better. So that's it, guys. And maybe I'll do a video on what Toro has to say. That'll be interesting. I might just get some guy that knows nothing about lawnmowers, but if nothing else, it'll make me feel better. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.